lights burn holes in the dark. No sleep, no stop, no break, no spark. Running wild like a shot through the wire. Feel the heat rising higher and higher. Can't hold me down. Won't slow me now. I'm ready to go. I'm ready to go. Feel it in my veins like a thunderbolt. I'm ready to go. I'm ready to go. No chains, no cage, just let me explode. Wires hum, beats crash through the air. Static screams, but I just don't care. Feet hit the ground like a hammer on steel. This is the rush, this is the real. Can't hold me down. Won't slow me now. I'm ready to go. I'm ready to go. Feel it in my veins like a thunderbolt. I'm ready to go. I'm ready to go.
Hello, everyone. Welcome to the new year for the IFT Townhall. Today, we got some good updates. Not a lot. Shouldn't take the entire time, but good ones. First off, I'll go ahead and give you a few announcements from the IFT side of things. We have a ton of shout outs. JB didn't want to join us today, probably because I asked him really late notice. But if you go over to the People Ops channel, there has been an outpouring, a ton of people trying to give shout outs to everyone of all the appreciation they've had across the organization for the great work everyone's doing. So go check those out. If you feel like giving a shout out, send them over to JB. He'll make a card for it. And the next town hall will do some more explicit ones here. Things are ramping up as the new year starts. Everyone's coming back, hopefully relieved and calm and had a little bit of a break mentally or not. I was sick the whole time, so it wasn't the best for me. As for upcoming events, I think that it's worth mentioning. I'm planning on doing the next logo strategy update call. So for all core contributors to the org, that's an internally focused call, but it gives all the updates on logos launch strategy. Specifically, I'd like to go over the eco dev team, what their plans are and the current status of those things, and in particular how they're identifying real world needs and then translating those into requirements for the technical roadmap to fill. And then obviously from that, what does the technical roadmap look like? We've got it all. We've got rough drafts of all of them on the roadmap site, but it's hard to kind of figure out how it all fits together and how they interrelate and what that looks like from like the logos tech stack perspective. So hopefully an update there. At the end of last year, I did an alignment survey to a more focused group of people because I didn't want to spam everyone. And I'll do a report on what the answers to all that was. Thank you for everybody for submitting feedback to that. And they were all great. And then I'll open that up to anybody who'd like to participate, but just give an idea of like, what does alignment look like? And then we'll do it again just before the all hands, and I'll kind of go over what progress has looked like with respect to alignment. Some circles updates. Things are growing in circles. Things are changing. Those are like, we'll talk a little bit about that later. But like, I'll have a more detailed circles update for the logo strategy update. And then finally, maybe if we can, do a logos token or financial update. So what does a token look like? What are ideas around what logos token is? What does burn rate look like? Things like this that kind of give us an idea on where we stand today and what limitations we may have with respect to funding or what tokens look like and things like this, which I think most people are curious about. I just don't know if we've been able to like share these things or have them so concrete enough where they're worth sharing. So maybe we're there, maybe we're not. I'm going to try to get there. But enough from me for now. Lou, come on in. Tell us about the Parallel Societies Festival, all hands, things like this.
Yeah. Hi, everyone. Really nice to be back. I'll try and do my usual, have loads of, not talk for too long, end up talking for ages. I'm not going to do that this time, I promise.
And it's fine. Time.
So that, everyone, I think Terry's done a great message out about all hands. It's about 7 or 8 weeks, right? So those who haven't book. We're entering a deep phase of planning and execution for the event. So all hands, all help, welcome. So I'll share through some key points here, and then I'll flag a lot of these links in the PS Discord channel after. But just as a quick update, if not everyone had seen it, can you see this okay? Website is live. I won't kind of hone in on it too much. All the different elements.
Did you click on the website or are you still talking about it?
Oh, shit. Yeah, sorry.
I do.
Right, here you go. So website is live. Tickets, fingers crossed, will be live either early next week or January 16th, pending some VAT NIF number issues. But that's great. We have had 823 people register for day 2, which equates to about 25K in revenue which is fantastic. And that's off about 3 weeks marketing, paid ads to the day 2 audience. And we've got over 600 registered for day 1. Day 1 will be a paying contribution of €10. Less about the financial gains, more about getting a real sense of commitment for people that are going to come. But yeah, I think most people have probably seen this now. You can see a bit more about the venue, how it's going to be laid out into the different zones, and then a private soundproof space, which can seat 200 for talks, demos. We can also use this main stage that is more for day 2 for some high profile keynotes. Jared, ideally, to open the day if we want to get in any really cool speakers via video link up, things like that. You can see the different zones here too. The lineup is really interesting. I think it's getting us a lot of traction with press. We've got the release issued in places like BBC Money, Yahoo Finance. I think large as a consequence of the combination of day 1 and day 2. And also these artists approving. We did a lot of data analysis to drive who we picked based on ticket sales, and to have 830 registrations of a max capacity of 2,000 within 3 weeks, I think is great. We just obviously got to convert those and keep on pushing for the rest of the sales. But I think also importantly to show to people like the partners onboarded so far. So we obviously have Kleros, Monericon, all of the projects within obviously Logos and IFT, NIM, SciDAO, Women in Web3 Privacy Now, Tor. Who else is going to scroll? I can't. It's testing. ETH, which is ETH Rome. Yeah, so that's at that point. Then if I just stop sharing that, will it take me back or will I lose the...
You can just reshare and I'll bring it back on.
Okay. Okay. Yeah. So just as a quick... Can you see that now?
Not yet.
Shit, sorry. Yeah, so I just thought it's good to kind of remind us what the purpose of events and purpose of PS is. So it's to advance Logos as a social movement, decentralized stack, active contributors across technical and non-technical pathways, produce real outputs for tools, coalitions, campaigns, and local impact. Support the quarterly issue-based campaign cycle that Johnny's leading. So surveillance will cut across the event. So we're looking at how we do that innovatively in the privacy zone and decentralized zone, and also support eco-devs KPIs. So it's our annual convergence. It is a real launch pad, and it can be a launch pad for lots of testnet-based activations in March, and also ideally, bringing circles leads together as well. What does it produce? Coalition formation, testnet testing. What works, what doesn't, what's feedback. Really seeing that hands-on in person is a much lovelier way to launch than all being IRL. All being digital. It gives us content and narratives, which is key. looking at our content plan, we could have up to 15 long form outputs from day one. If we have a video output for every zone, event recaps, stories focusing in on developers, on circles leads, it's a huge opportunity for us for post marketing and sharing what we're doing. That's that. Yeah, pickup. We've done one music related press release. Laura's working heavily on the day one side as well. Been in 47 outlets. I'll share the full link. And we had a really nice piece just come out, which is more leaning to kind of cultural and music. But I think you can just see how people are really interested in the two parts together. Why Lisbon, you know, creating a list here. They talk about event that's considered versus overstated, that like is tapping into many different issues, both around technology, communities, and culture. So it's great to see that happening. And we've engaged a little bit of extra support to help us with this, because I think we can really be targeting Wired, Days, DJ Magazine, you know, cultural, lifestyle, music publications, and getting a lot of reach, which whilst that's not our niche audience, having that as well as our, you know, niche, more kind of narrow media as well is really important. So yeah, drawn to thoughtful programming, music, art, and technology has something refreshing. So I think it's nice to see some of that being picked up on, because those were things that we really wanted to do. And then let me go back.
This is exciting. This is
summary of the
I'm
stuff.
so pumped for this. Like, it's
so yeah, we've had over 500 register on Luma, which is more just the solid day one audience. We will do a mail out blast to our whole, like, you know, following of, you know, in the thousands, 5,000, I believe, roughly. Amelia hosted we did a kind of pop-up with ETH Global meetup where there's 130 devs, both international, local, there for Build Europe Week. So we're kind of doing all that stuff to really ensure we get the right developer communities there as well, working with EcoDev and BizDev too. We're talking to Nova University, which has a big innovation blockchain master's program, and lots of other kind of relevant units, and also a major I can't remember the name of it. It's called the Catholic University, because they're the biggest established here. So doing what we can to make sure we get as many developers there as possible. We're now broadening out to go hard into Madrid and Barcelona, Paris, Amsterdam as well. So we're trying to lock in community partnership with people like ETH Dam, ETH Barcelona. We've done that with ETH Lisbon, and obviously we have MoneroCon. So as much as we can in any ways that anyone can help us on that would be amazing. I put this here. So not only is ticketing in day two important for culture, but we will run the bar ourselves. So as you might imagine, doing an event like this is very expensive. We will share like top line accounting at the output. But not only is ticketing for day two a good vehicle, finance vehicle, we can also sell drinks. So conservatively, if you sell 2,000 tickets, a conservative number will be 100,000 euros on the bar, which pays for all the talent in essence. So, so then if we can then push that target, and we're going to have a really solid bar and F&B teams running it, and we can sell drinks and things on day one. So you can kind of begin to see how the culture part is great, both for doing something good, different, but also to ensure that we're not going out to coalition partners to be like, oh, it's 50 grand, 100 grand, which we don't want to be seen to be profiteering, but we do want to get into profit, because then that can be allocated to the winnable issues or projects or the tour campaign or things that we, the ticket holders, decide. This is just a bit on, so interesting. We paid like about 2 grand on Instagram ads. We had like 0 followers on Instagram. We've got that to 2,000. We've had 600 click-throughs to our website. So again, this is more people seeing about Logos, more people seeing different things that might not be our niche, but the model's working. Is a summary. Thanks from Isaac. So we've been a little bit, because with all the Logos rebrand, and we're kind of mindful that the brand identity of PS is different to Logos in colorways and certain things. We just want to ensure that we're not over spamming about parallel society on the Logos channel, but I think we can ramp that up a bit now, just to ensure we hit our objectives on reach. Most importantly, that we talking about the partners, because that gives us, for instance, Tor reposted the announcement. They have a reach of 400,000 on their account.
I've
So
had people reach out to me and be like, dude, Tor's posting things about your project. I was like, I know. Isn't that cool?
yeah. So there'll be more coming, but what we'll do is we'll do things like more organic photos from the venue and stuff versus heavily branded content to go out with that. We have 13 coalition members. Our initial target when we scoped out the KPIs was 10. So good news is we've overachieved on that. But I think the reality is because it's scaled up and we have financial targets to hit, we really need to push that up to 25. I think for the first supporters, we've been really flexible on what they contribute, because if you're committed to come to an event just by us, no other ecosystem events happening, and you're willing to do that and you get it and you're excited, it's like, great, let's just bring that people together. And it's been fantastic to have Funding the Commons helping us achieve that with Tor, and Neracon coming on board, NIM coming on board, other ETH organized events, Claros, like early adopters. I think it's, a big thanks to them. And obviously, as well as people like Charter Cities Institute, Zanzalu, Zoo Grammar, that kind of thing as well. We're in, and what I think Stephen and I were doing a lot of this, and Sterling's been really, really helpful at getting me through great leads from the events he's attending and his network and X Spaces. So we're beginning to see we're getting more, agile at doing that stuff. But it really is a team effort, and Marina and Shirley and Vaslav are now really coming through with lots of great connections. So thank you, everybody. So Protocol Labs are really interested across multiple projects within their ecosystem, being partnered in multiple zones. So that's quite significant, and I think can be a more larger financial contribution, which is great. Aztec, Solana Forma, Human Tech, Zuafrique, Talent Protocols, a local company, Venice AI, Vinyl Nation and Festival Nation are two like Indian projects more in the cultural space. Gnosis Circle, Graph, Post. So there's a great range here, and we're all really pushing really, really hard to make it as successful. Because if we have 25 coalition partners all bringing 5 to 10 people, amazing. Like we will bring in lots of developers and local communities as well, but we also have a bank and guaranteed audience that's really solid and people that we want to be working with as well. I won't kind of pull this out, but we're working with EcoDev and with campaigns with Johnny and with Circles to be like, how do we, the most important thing to me, I'm obviously super distracted by, I need to get enough income in, we need to sell enough tickets. But the most important thing really is how successfully we deliver for Logos at this event. So that's where everyone really, really comes into play. So how are we getting contributions? How are we getting developer feedback? How are we kind of getting, really pushing the testnet there, and any other agendas that we want to be pushing? And really that can't come from me, that comes from everybody. That needs to be something that we all, so I will share this doc. Everyone's been kind of working on this, on editing this through, Daniel, through to VAC, EcoDev team. But this, to me, if we do this well, is the most important thing. And likewise with Circles, Santi and Amelia have pulled together a whole plan around that. Like, how can Parallel Society be a chance to celebrate the stewards that have been hosting these meetups in 25 different cities? How can we spotlight on the winnable issues they've solved and are working on as the kind of flagship as well? And I think because it's a one-day on conference, I think we can have a lot of sit-in zones, demos for Logos, demos for IFT projects, work that starts, like PS is the ignition, and then we kind of need to have a plan of how we're then onward working with those people. But I think that the elevating Circles is really important, because we could end up with 20 new Circles heads or whatever from the attendees that will either fly in or will be from Europe.
I mean, just looking at the Q1 to Q2 KPIs for Circles that Santa had recently put out, it's like 30 new Circles just within the first 2 quarters of this year.
Yeah,
something like that.
Yeah. So that's it. It's been like a really big team effort. We're really getting there. We've got 7 weeks, which is not long, and February is a short month. So please, everyone, And also we have, I didn't pull it up, we've come up with a coalition structure for how the coalition is run in each zone, and we're going to have 2 Logos stewards for each zone, as well as an external coalition steward and a Portuguese steward that kind of facilitate that program.
Okay.
What's going to happen? We slot things in like, okay, we know Logos is going to do this workshop or this demo here. It's going to have this sitting in the free and open source software zone. Guy Louis at Keycard has already kind of come to us with what he'd like to do, so that's great. So if every project can do that now, because we have to produce it, so we can't.
That's the call to action here, right? It's like, come to you for what they want to do in each of these zones, or
exactly. And then I'll share, and I'll even tag everyone on the coalition documentation so people can see that. And really, that's our the importance of us all being there. We're also looking at with Terry and Melanie to say that we'll have big extra meeting rooms available in the hotel all day on the Saturday. So if people aren't into partying, don't want to come and do that, want to invite great contacts they've made from day one to just come and work on things with them, there's going to be space to do that. People, which is also cool.
And I put the PS update Notion page you were just going through in the Notion page that I share on the description of this video. Or you can just search for it as PS update inside Notion. So if y'all want to go look at all these details she's been going through, you can. I'm in charge of the day before and the 2 days after, right? My intention there, as I kind of alluded to with logo strategy update, I'll have that one, and I'll do one just before we leave to go to all this, the all hands and the parallel societies, and then the kind of team-based work period afterwards. I want to do all the updates. It's like last all hands, we did all the updates at the all hands. I want to do it all virtually before this time, so that we only have one day of an all hands. I don't want to spend any of that time kind of droning in a room. I'd rather spend like all of that time getting like everyone on the same page and amped up for going out and talking to everybody and being a part of the PS, because we can really if we can get everyone on the same page, then everyone's just telling the same stories, saying the same things when we're all out talking to the community and amplifying things. So like any of y'all who have ideas for that or want to see something specific for the all hands, please contact me. And then afterwards we have kind of a lot of room for team-based work, but it's all in the same area. So in case we need, cross-team collaboration, things like this, we have space for that. So if you want things like that, I'll be planning that more explicitly and putting out details soon. So let me know. But thanks, Lou. Awesome job. I'm so excited for this.
Yeah. And thanks everyone. We can all do this together. Not just a comms marketing thing, is everyone, right?
Oh yeah. All right. Thank you. Now, bringing in Isaac, going to space. What's up, man?
How's it going? Can you hear me okay?
Yep, sound good.
Good. This is very tight. Tighter than it was before Christmas. But,
yeah? You have a good Christmas?
Was very good. Very, very good. Okay, I'm trying to bring my deck up. So let's see if it works.
Bring it in and I'll add it.
Apologies in advance, guys, because, well, anyone from Status, because you've already had a flavor of this. But if anyone that's not aware, next week, I did say last month, but next week is the launch of USS Status. If you're not aware what it is, it's a cartoon series about a bunch of memes flying around the galaxy, and they use Status and Logos tech to crush scams and liberate everyone. So the whole point of this, few reasons. Firstly, we want to raise awareness about Status. So whether it's organic or paid, we can get millions of people to watch it. Promote the Logos tech stack. So for example, RLN is the ship's way of preventing other ships from jamming their communications. Yeah. anchors the status content and the app visuals. So, for example, we use the characters in the memes on socials, and then they also crop up when people reach the app. So, like here we have the Captain Pepe figure on the status browser hero image. And then hopefully it builds a bit of emotional connection to status as well. So bump user engagement and hopefully retention as well on the app. Finally, it also onboards users to the status app through the USS status community, which I'll get into a bit more later on. So the people we're targeting, we're kind of going across the whole spectrum of Web3. So OGs will do that by referencing like old events, whether it's Mt. Gox or BitConnect, like you see in episode 1. Developers with technical jokes, memers, and newbies as well. So it all starts with a animated comic book series called The Voyage of USS Status. Episode 1 is King Carlos and the Infinite APY. A little bit of a blurb. The planet name has actually changed after a conversation with Eric from Legal. So it's now called Shit Connect instead of BitConnect, as our way to distance ourselves from real names. But yeah, the crew hear a distress call about a lost trader who seems to be caught, and they go and investigate, and they find the planet Shit Connect led by King Carlos. Episode 2 then will progress, start like a mini story arc. So we start with the Great JPEG Heist, where the crew will bump into another familiar meme. And that's where they first hear about the legend of Lubin's lost ledger. So they go and try and stop pirates from seizing or discovering the ledger and then dumping on the market and crashing it forever. And eventually, after a bit of hoo-ha, they find themselves stranded in a distant galaxy with no gas to get home. And that's when they discover a very familiar face from IFT who will might help them upgrade their engines to a certain status network. So the episodes themselves, they'll serve as like the hero content. It's like the reason for this whole thing existing, but they're just the beginning. So outside of that, I don't know whether you guys can see from here or whether I can always open it up or link you guys later. Essentially, we're building out episode content surrounding that with like lore. So crew bios and planet bios, memes, etc. And then running engagement pieces. So polls on what the new character's name could be or what planet the crew should visit next. Or even like voice, like people can voice a character or draw a character. And then finally on the outside, stuff like ads, PR, social quests, ways to bring people into this little ecosystem that we have and world that we're building. So if any of you have seen the status Twitter, you may have seen some of this content already. If not, I beg you to go check it out because a lot more is on the way. Now, at the end of the day, if privacy isn't your priority, why would you use status at the minute? So for most people, their friends aren't here. There's some bugs, and the UX isn't as good as like these huge apps like WhatsApp, who have way more resources than we do. So the point of this campaign is to try and create something that people want to be a part of. So we've got incentives from early access to competitions, prizes. We're building community by when you join the USS status community, you'll climb through the ranks. So you'll start as a crewman and then go on to being a ensign, corporal, lieutenant, whatever. And then also entertainment with like exclusive content and mini games. So I think it should be live now, but if you go on the status app, be sure to join the USS status community and the one on X as well.
Let's see. I'm on right now. I'm not seeing it show up immediately. Search
on the status app.
I'm not seeing it.
Oh no.
Just status and the status that you knew.
I can see it on the home screen, but then maybe that's because I started it. We'll see. We'll get it up.
2.36.1?
Sorry?
Which version are you on? Status.
The latest, as far as I know.
2.36.1.
What do you see?
I'll show you.
I'll check. Anyway, we'll get it up. We'll get it up as soon as we can. Ready for launch next week.
Yeah, I'll check it. I haven't logged in and out in a while, so maybe I can do that.
Maybe. But yeah, the point of all this is that instead of our CTA being like sign up to status or join status, instead, with all this content that we're putting out, we can say something like tangible. So instead of sign up to status, they're joining the crew. And then we'll have these like recruitment posters that are a throwback to the old American War ones to get people to try and get people to sign up.
I like this. This is fun.
So overall, we're not shilling status. We're building a universe that people want to be a part of, and they can do that by using status. So I hope this works because I've not tried it through Streamlabs yet.
Jared just said both not verified, so
okay,
so it'll be there.
Oh, I see by the exit means it won't work.
You want to share your screen as opposed to like the slides?
Screen. So this is an exclusive look. The status team have already seen this. For anyone else, this is. Tell me if you can hear my audio, Corey, in a minute. The first teaser for the episode which launches next week.
APY, it never stops.
Yeah.
Draw. Ensign Doge, do we have the location of the distress signal? Yes, Captain. It's coming from a moon in the Isnob system. Set a course. Full gas. Could we not have used the transporters? We tried to beam Wojak down, but run out of gas halfway. He's stuck in the mempool. Whoa. Everything's made of gold. Ha! You mean physical Bitcoin? Greetings. Welcome to Ship Connect 42. Please follow us. Stay alert, team. As far as they know, we're here to replenish our ETH stores. Nothing more. Hey, hey, hey. Hey, hey, hey. Welcome, my friends, to Shit Connect 42. I am King Carlos. Please enjoy our hospitality.
So you can see the rest of it next week. Fingers crossed Wednesday. But regardless, next week, that's when we're launching the first episode, and we'll get this campaign in full swing.
Nice job, man. And everyone else that's involved, because it wasn't just you.
Sorry?
And everyone else that was involved, because it wasn't just you, obviously. But yeah, this is awesome.
Yeah, no, we've got a really good team of freelancers working on this as well. So yes, very exciting.
Thanks for coming on.
Thanks.
Yeah, I think the vote, like Joe had mentioned in the chat here, so it should be live in the portal in 4 days. So once the vote's verified, it'll be discoverable on the application.
Wicked.
So I guess
Thank
you just got invited, right? And so you can see it.
Sweet.
What do you need from people? You need a call to action? You need people to show up and do something?
So if you guys fancy following along, there's a USS Status community on Twitter, X. So you go to the status page, you can find it at the top. Just click join. Nothing happens. You'll just see all these posts coming up. And obviously join the USS Status community on Status when it's live.
Awesome. Will do. Thanks for coming on.
Thank you, Corey.
Good to see you, buddy.
Bye.
Happy New Year. All right. Back to my boring content compared to that. Let's see. I did the announcements. Let's see. Logo circles. Next town hall, 2 weeks or so from now, we'll be doing, I'm going to have Amelia on to go through her recap of her circles and kind of the wins they had over the past year. She put a tweet out, and which I can just share here. Let's see. Yeah. But there's a nice tweet. So the point of me sharing it here is like just to remind everyone that a lot of the campaign, what we're trying to do across the board is identify stories like from the community. Now Amelia happens to be a core contributor, but she's also the lead of a circle and is sharing her story on how that circle's won. And so we're looking to see these types of things and then amplify them when they show good examples of what we're trying to do. And here's 2 examples of stories that we can amplify. These are in the thing, so I definitely encourage you to go and like and share them and try and push them. So Amelia has hers with tackling issues from housing insecurity to artist empowerment. Built a long-term coalition in the Quinta do Moco community and learned a lot along the way. So she shares her story on what they've done and does a good job of protecting identities as she does this, and what they're doing locally to make change that we can then amplify to show as examples of what the whole point of Logos is for in the first place. So recommend you click on these things, read through this, give feedback, share with your friends, start a circle and do the same. Another person in the community who's doing a circle, M the Money Ape, sharing his local circles meetup in Barcelona, and goes through some of the work that they've done looking at decentralized identities, understanding, looking at what apathy is, and definitely they'll go through these. But the idea here is to identify these types of things, share them, amplify them, and show people that everything we're doing is rooted in real people in real places, making real changes. With that in mind, try and make that a little more organized, stable, scalable. Dr. Goyman, did I say his name? So I say it. Made a post on the Logos forum calling it the Circles Improvement Proposal #1, which is roles plus a snowflake model, which he describes kind of proposing some organization within circles based on research from the grassroots movements and how you make these things useful and sustainable and independent yet cohesive, in that all of these things can make autonomous decisions, but they're all pushing in the right direction. How you organize in such a way where you can do that. And so namely, it's looking for at specific types of roles within each circle and then assigning them and having them owned by participants in that circle to take care of specific types of things to make sure that the circle is healthy and effective. Go read that. You can see it here. It's a nice, not too long of a post, But ideally, like the Snowflake model identifies core roles and then some additional optional ones, I guess, depending on your size and momentum. But you need a technical lead, growth lead, comms lead, project lead as a core. And he goes into some of the details on what they're responsible for, what they do. And then, so if you're thinking about starting a circle, you're in a circle, read this, give feedback. And I think next week, when we talk about Amelia's experience so far and what they've done with winnable issues, we're also going to talk about like how she thinks about implementing these things. Realistically, what does it look like to try and get this done, to get people to own these roles? So yeah, go check that out. I'm probably going to read it. Text is small, but Logos Forum, go check it out. That's it. So I have the news.frida technology links here that just goes through all of the posts we've made over December and the first week of January. Even though it's kind of the calm month of the year, we still are quite prolific in what we've put out. So go check those things out. Click on the videos, share them, amplify them. And if you didn't notice it or read it, I have this. Chair was nice enough to make this overlay for me. We're calling the kind of Logos broadcast network, in which we're trying to have something playing, something to do that's relevant for Logos and the movement every single day of the week. So that, and then this is like planned material so that you have something to expect and look forward to with some regularity. It's very important to have that type of thing. So what we're calling for now the Logos broadcast network is that schedule and plan of consistent content over the week. So next week, this is what you can look forward to. Logos Dev Club, Logos Circles Online, both Tuesday and Thursday. Sterling's killing it with those. We have the IFT research call usually every Wednesday. We did one this week. I posted it's on the link. Let's see. I'll add that to the, what's it called? It's in the IFT research channel, IFT research call channel in the Discord. But I posted a little video recapping this thing. Talked about interrogating decentralized systems. I gotta get rid of this. Interrogating decentralized systems. I'm blowing up. Go away. Here's the video. It's great. He goes through like why we have a different testing methodology and why it's needed for distributed and decentralized systems. And then I talk a little bit about the history of testing software and how it gets increasingly complex and then builds upon itself over time. Got some fun graphics and visuals. You can click and link and the whole write-up on this history if you're interested in that type of thing from a technical perspective. And we reiterate or emphasize how lucky we are that this organization has within it a group that's dedicated and experienced with testing decentralized systems, because it's very, very hard and we can't use it enough. So go check that out. And that's all I got for today. So thanks for joining me. See you in 2 weeks.